because you've waded into a lot of things recently where you have a perspective that a lot of people don't have, but as soon as they start listening to you, they start going, wait a minute. Whether they agree with all your conclusions or not, the general consensus is that you're on to something.
Yeah.
So, and for example, people, anti-Semitism or this, that, and the other thing, but there is a prominent Jewish person that you are helping that no one else is helping.
Yeah, they ignore that part. She's Adolf Hitler.
There is a very prominent Jewish person who you are actually helping that no one is helping, and that person is Harvey Weinstein, and you have looked over this and have come to, I don't want to say a conclusion, but you're certainly leaning in the direction that we don't know the whole story.
He was wrongfully convicted, is my conclusion. And I the thing about me is when you listen to my podcast, I'll tell you my thoughts. Like the whole idea of saying that like you're not biased or like it is ridiculous. So I will say to someone, I've looked over this case. You know, after looking over this case, I've concluded that Harvey Weinstein was wrongfully convicted and was basically just hung on the Me Too thing. And I'm going to show you how I got there, but I'm going to give you access to everything I'm looking at. Like, I'm not here to tell you I'm the expert and I'm above you. You can investigate this with me. And Harvey Weinstein, when this came across my plate, honestly, somebody contacted me and I thought he was guilty. I mean, that even shows that I think I'm impervious to the media, and I always know the media's lying, but I clearly fell for the Harvey Weinstein thing because there was like 130 women. I mean, I was like, something's just basic odds here.
Something's going on.
Someone's got to be telling the truth. And then I realized I didn't even know why he was in prison. I didn't even recognize how many women actually put him in prison, and it came down to just 3. In all of those cases, 3 women. And when you look at the case, it is the most absurd, ridiculous. You have to genuinely believe that a woman can be, while having a 4-year affair, one time, continued the affair for multiple years. That one time she was raped right after, emailed him for tickets to go to Paris, to be flown with her friends to Paris. That part she doesn't remember, or when she gets questioned on the stand, she breaks down crying, right? She breaks down crying. Like, why would you do this? And also after she got raped, brought her mom to meet him. It just gets it's a little too much. I know what a sugar baby is, okay?
Right.
The world knows what sugar babies are. I fully accept that he abused his power. Of course, people know you're Harvey freaking Weinstein. You've done the most amazing movies ever.
Right.
And these women are not sleeping with you because you're Brad Pitt and Troy, right?
That's
you know what I'm saying?
That's right, yeah.
And so they feel like and then imagine doing that, like you sleep with him, and then afterwards your career doesn't take off. And so I feel these women are trying to rinse themselves of their sins of oh no, I didn't sleep with Harvey Weinstein when I was young.
Right.
I was raped. When you read these women's emails following their, quote unquote rapes or sexual assaults, you just go,
something's
listen,
up.
I'm not an expert. I know we're in the age of the experts.
Right.
I'm not an expert on what does and does not qualify rape, but I would like to think that you wouldn't say, oh, he's like a father to me. Oh, I love him. He's a mentor. He's this. My mom meets him. It's when you read these emails and read how many there are, you just go, okay, this was something else, right?
Right.
And also you would then be alone with him again over and over in a hotel room. Would you not try to avoid the circumstance ever again?
It feels like a incredible stretch to say that somebody who we know abused his power and, was not acting in a moral or upstanding way or, was probably aggressive and did things that nobody would support, should just be convicted on the basis of a general vibe instead of a specific set of provable allegations.
Right.
Which I think is where you landed on this.
Yeah, and I landed on that and had said that publicly on Twitter, and then that was before the appellate court reversed the decision. So I said it, and then a few months ago, Harvey Weinstein's decision got overturned in New York, and the appellate judges said the exact same thing. They were like, this was a kangaroo court. I mean, I don't understand. They were allowing anyone to come into the court and say whatever. You would get a former assistant that was like, I was there one time, and him and his brother got into a fight.
Yeah.
Character assassination in the courtroom.
I was a juror
because
on a murder trial, and they, at one time, they were like, you cannot bring up other things this defendant did.
Exactly.
We are trying this defendant on these set of allegations and nothing else.
Right. They let it with Harvey Weinstein. They let anyone, you could say, he took my pencil in 8th grade.
Right.
It was just a full character assassination that had nothing to do.
Have you spoken to him?
Yeah. I speak to Harvey.
Yeah. And how does he feel that one human being on earth is trying to, shed light on this case?
He called me.
Because am I wrong? You're it.
Yeah.
Him, right?
Yeah. And he called me and he thanked me. I mean, hasn't had this much hope in years. And, he'd been listening to his lawyers for a long time. Don't talk to anyone. Don't say anything. And that was part of the struggle of bringing this story forward, because they're like, well, you don't want to blow your chances. And I said to him, listen, I don't think your lawyers understand. You're in prison because you lost the public war. You know what I mean?
Right.
Me Too was they were just hanging people publicly.
Right.
And if you don't actually get out what happened, and he was just elated, like for the first time he had hope. And the thing that's so sad that people don't realize, and I don't know how these women sleep at night, is he has kids. He has kids that are growing up, and they are being told that their father is a rapist. Not your father is a bad man and a moral man. Your father abused his power. All those things might be true, but a rapist, which is something totally different. And I just don't understand how people can sleep at night. Because
and he denies that. He says, I am not a rapist.
No, he denied it from the very beginning. And he's admitted, I've had affairs. Why'd you pay him off? He's like, because I was cheating on my wife nonstop at the peninsula. And so when these women came and were like, well, you better pay me, I paid some of them off, obviously.
Right.
But when you read the emails, it is ridiculous. It defies common sense to believe that anyone would communicate like that for years and years after they were allegedly assaulted or they were allegedly raped. And they all were looking for careers. They're all in the industry. They're all asking him for tickets. And he was the guy. And he got them the tickets, by the way.
We watched the Kevin Spacey doc, and it was these guys who were like, well, he was inappropriate. But then I went to his apartment. It's like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
You're trying to get something. And fine. But then you can't turn around and go, this guy ruined my life. Because it does feel like there is a fair amount of revisionist history or Monday morning quarterbacking. Again, not, Harvey Weinstein, we're not saying it's like, the moral paragon of whatever.
He's not Justin Baldoni. Like, it's not like a case where you're like, this guy was just such an amazing person.
No, of course.
But people need to be nuanced.
And now you got into that one too.
Yeah.